Everybody loves haunted houses, so couldn't be more excited about that for sure. Super, super good, guys. Please turn into that. Wednesday, was it 11? Wednesday 11 or 10 Central Time? Who's spinning wheels in here? Let's go. Demonic Abbey. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, thank you, brother. Guys, we'll get about 2 more minutes in here. Right? Let's see you. Oh, what's up, brother? Oh, Angela, thank you.
Thank you, India. Thank you, Terror. Thank you,
Jim, thank you. Like 5 more minutes, then we'll send out a blast. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Oh, thank you for the rose. Let's go. Thank you for the sun. Yo, play. Thank you, brother. Hope everybody's doing good today. Oh, thank you, Jen. What's up? Yeah, thank you, man. That champagne's gonna mess my hair up. 1 more minute, guys, and we'll do an intro. Let's go. Angela, thank you, love. Thank you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Stephanie. All right. Didn't know testing on the side. Oh, you good, man. You good. 1 more minute, guys. 1 more minute. Stephanie, what's on? What's up? Just 1 more minute, guys. We'll give a couple more people time to come in here. We will get started with the intro. Brenda. Yo, I feel a bonus here. Oh, hey, girl. Send out one blast. Oh, thank you, brother. Long shift tomorrow. Didn't sleep last night. I hear you. Thank you, man. Brenda, thank you for the rose. Let's see. Oh, thank you for the wine, Angela. Lizzie. Thank you for the rose. Give me 1 more second. We'll send out a blast. Yes, we are. Oh, thank you, Angela. Thank you, love. A show. I do have a collection of shoes, though, if everybody be interested in seeing them. Yeah, right? Oh, Jim, thank you, brother. Is that better? There we go. Sorry. Just trying to grab my phone. All right, 1 quick blast and we're good. Let's go. Yo, Emoji, what's up? You want to go first, man, or you want me to go first? I think we're ready. Thank you, Lizzie. Yeah, Jen, go ahead. All right. Hold on. I see. Let me see what Jen says. Mute the GIF audio if you haven't. How do you do that? Yeah. Plus. Oh. GIF audio. Gotcha. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let's go.
Thank you,
Thank you, brother. Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. Just wanted to welcome everybody very quickly. We appreciate you guys being here. Every Monday night, we're going to be doing a show at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be called Gratitude. Every week, we're going to have a subject matter where we're talking about things that people are grateful for, situations that people are appreciative of, circumstances that have really changed your life and really make you appreciate things that you have in your life. So every week, we're going to do a different topic. Every week we're going to have a different guest. Maybe we're going to have more than one guest. So guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you guys. We're going to get started tonight. Just as a couple quick notes, we just want to throw out a couple ideas and show descriptions for people that, in case you have never heard of it. Wednesday night, our guest tonight, Blair Woods, she's got a show about paranormal activity that she does every Wednesday night, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Please favorite her when she jumps in. We'll definitely be able to check her out. She's got a really awesome show. I was actually a part of it last night. Really, really super sweet person, has a lot of content there, a lot of great things that she's probably going to be sharing in the near future. So if you get a chance to please check her out after tonight's show, you definitely will not want to miss what she's got to offer. Also on Thursdays, Blake Premier, my man, my best friend, dude is awesome. Love Quest with Dr. Morgan. It's going to be every Thursday night, guys, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Him and Dr. Morgan, it's going to be an awesome show. Love Quest, a lot of amazing content with relationship advice, love languages, a lot of different things that they got going on every week. So please, if you haven't already favored him, please favorite him every week. It'll be just such a great topic of conversation. You can really learn a lot when you listen, and there's just so much great things there. So going to get started this week. Every week we're going to try to start things off with a quote. So with this week being about topic of random acts of kindness, the quote for tonight, and we're going to actually share it again at the end of the show, is small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world. So let me read that one more time so everybody can kind of get that. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world. So there's probably a lot of different things that we've had happen in our life that's really important, that we really appreciate, and that we sometimes take for granted. But if we really think about that and think about how other people struggle with a lot of things in their life, then it makes us really appreciative. So at this time, like I said, Blair, she's got an awesome show. She's going to come up and talk to us about some things in her life that have been random acts of kindness that she really appreciates. And so at this time, guys, I'm going to have her come up and kind of introduce herself and explain her a little bit more and get you to meet her. So Blair, hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Happy Monday to you. So
Happy
if you kind of want to take just a moment to sort of introduce yourself to everyone, maybe share a few things about you that you would love to share, and that way people will get to know you just a little bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm Blair Woods. I'm a singer-songwriter. I do have a show on here as well that dives into paranormal. There's a lot of things that I like to kind of talk about on the show, of course, paranormal, but I do also sing and songwrite. And I think that's about it.
Okay. All right. So what really got you into the whole paranormal activity, or what about that, specifically really just grabbed your attention?
So at a very early age, I had a lot of experiences just seeing my grandfather. He passed at an early age, and so I would always see like reflections, like his reflection in like just windows and mirrors and stuff like that it shouldn't be in because there was no pictures of him in the room. So it was just like really weird. And then as I grew up, I just kind of sort of got more into it just because I liked it. I liked the thrill of it. It's kind of like when you ride a roller coaster for the thrill of it. It's like that. I really enjoy
just that rush.
Yeah, that rush. And then when I moved to California and I was living in the house in Palmdale and I had that really, really scary experience, I kind of realized, these things come to me because, at some point I stopped trying to go after them. It's just now like they kind of come to me, and I decided, even though it's terrifying, if we're being honest, I figured that I would just embrace it. And when, the show was kind of just like starting, I was just like, you know what? Yes, this is my baby. I want to do this. Like, this is going to be so much fun. I love talking about it. I love scaring myself anyway. So that's kind of how I started getting into it.
I think a lot of people are really interested in paranormal activity, paranormal situations. I think sometimes people can get really interested and fascinated on, um, aliens and life on other planets, and also the, extraterrestrial things as well. I think that a lot of people, if they really think about it, though, they find that stuff really interesting. Sometimes really scary if you really don't, understand the whole, subject matter and things like that. But it's really very, very interesting stuff if you really get into it and kind of, dive into just the whole concept of all that stuff. So I find that stuff myself very interesting and entertaining too. Um, so
It's
tonight
fun.
we're talking about random acts of kindness, things that maybe we've all experienced in our life that we really appreciate. Sometimes we maybe take for granted or don't necessarily always think about. So if you kind of want to touch on that a little bit, maybe some circumstances that you've experienced, maybe some stories that you've had. That way you can kind of share with us and really let us know what's happened in your life, at least from that aspect.
Absolutely. So I've definitely had a lot of things that I'm grateful for, and I feel like a lot of things that have happened to me that I didn't really expect to happen. I do heavily believe whatever you give out, you get back. So I do try myself to do random acts of kindness, even if it's small, pay it forward acts of kindness. It does come back tenfold. Um, for example, here recently, one of my best friends, this is not a random act of kindness that was done to me, but I do have some that were recent as well. But this is one that I did for a friend, and I strongly believe that, like, because I did this for her, the random act that I'll share after happened to me because everything does come back full circle. And
Sure.
so I have a best friend in LA. Her name's Rosie. She's a singer just like I am. I was fortunate enough to be able to come back home when COVID hit. She's still out there and she's having a tough time because she's lost her jobs. So money's a little tight. Their means of transportation right now is a bicycle because they're trying to cut back on they only have one vehicle
Mm,
and they don't have enough to consistently fill it up with gas because gas is obviously rising in LA all the
right.
time. And so they try to just use the bikes to go around because they live in the West Hollywood area, so it's really no need to drive unless you have to go somewhere far. So she has these bikes and they're in a gated neighborhood, which this shouldn't be an issue, but they were cut and stolen off the bike rack last week. And that's again, and her boyfriend doesn't have a vehicle, so that is his transportation to work. And he luckily does have a job at the moment. But so she told me, she was like, these bikes were stolen, like we literally just got them. And she was like, I'm and she's a singer like me, so obviously we try to make sure we have our stage outfits, like our certain outfits that are like our
Okay.
go-to really like solidify our brand. And hers is very like grunge goth, and she saved up so much for some really expensive Doc Martens, and they were the ones that were like over $200. So they were very expensive pair of shoes, not something she would normally have bought herself, but it's something that she feels as a performer makes her brand. It was something she was able to do for herself for once, and I know how that feels. I know being able to buy even one little piece just to be like, you did it, girl, like congratulations, is a big deal. And so she was selling her Doc Martens. She'd literally only worn them once. She was selling them because the bikes got stolen. So I Venmoed her as much as I was able to Venmo, and then I put her story and I shared it on my Instagram with my friends. And within several minutes, the bikes were paid off, and she was able to
Wow.
get bikes.
Right.
And
The word got out
happy.
on it, and people wanted to be a part of that and show some support. So, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm very grateful because I mean, she's my best friend and I know that she would do the same for me. She's got such a kind heart, and I know that showing her that, there are people that care, there are people that are there to help her definitely kind of helped just everything she's going through, because I know right now she's kind of in kind of a funk because everything's kind of not going the way that she needed it to go, and the bikes were just like that icing on the cake. And I've definitely been there. I think we all have been there where we're just having a bad week or a bad month, and just that one thing is that like tip of the iceberg, like great. that's what I needed to happen. So I wanted to show her that, not just because something bad happened to her doesn't mean that something good couldn't happen to her. So, I wanted to be that example. And I believe because I did that, what happened to me was kind of like the universe saying, good job. You did good, kid. Like, here you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't know if you want me to go into that or if you wanted to have your take on that.
No, I mean, we can. I just think, just to kind of piggyback on what, you were saying, I think that with everything that's gone on this year, especially with COVID and people struggling with jobs and their life. And, even if people, like you said, if they have kids and things like that, money can become really tight. And we can get in situations where we're not planning for that, because I don't think anybody really planned for what was going on for this year and things like that. So when you have that kind of stuff happen, and you're not planning for it, then it makes it even more of a difficult thing and a challenge to really, try to gather yourself up and deal with. So, for her to have a friend like yourself to really try to get out there and just, be what you can, kind of be a light in the darkened world, or kind of be a light at the end of the tunnel. I think that it certainly says a lot about you, not just as a friend to her, but as a person. I think that it really, gives you a chance to just show that you're a very kind and thoughtful person. And I think a lot of people, this day especially, are worried more about themselves.
Yep.
What can I have in life? How can I grow myself? And not necessarily worry about, someone else, instead. So I think, like I said, that it really is a token to you as a person, and, as you being a friend and things like that. So I certainly admire you for that. Absolutely.
Thank you. I don't normally like to tell like those kind of stories, but when they go hand in hand with stuff that happens to you, I think it's a great example of like things that you do kind of under the radar. And with things in life, like I think everyone should like definitely go about it this way. But I never do anything with the expectation that I'm going to get it back.
Right.
I like to do things with the expectation of if I'm going to do something nice, like a random act of kindness, it's just because I want to do this for somebody. Like
For
it's
sure.
not. I don't
Not
expect
for
her
any
to ever.
reason at all, just to be nice.
I would not let her pay me back ever, actually, if she even tried to. I would literally just keep sending it back on her Venmo. But it's one of those things that I think, like, when you go to do something nice, it doesn't always have to be documented and it doesn't always have to be said. But it is always good to, if you need to use it as an example, to use it as an example to, kind of help guide other people and remind other people while it is okay to be selfish occasionally, you should still, every now and again, kind of like show people that kindness still does exist, especially in the world that we live in today.
Yeah, it really does, because I think that, like you said, if you're genuine about it and you're sincere about it, then people appreciate that a lot more, because you're not doing it for any other reason other than just being nice.
Exactly.
And that means a lot more to people when they know that you're genuine and they know that you're grateful for what you're doing, as opposed to trying to get some kind of pat on the back, or some kind of, thing out of the situation. So I think that it's awesome. And like I said, it just really, it just shows us as human beings that it's still important to have those qualities of trying to be kind and genuine and grateful and things like that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. It's
But, to
always
kind
really.
of, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, just to kind of feedback into what, you were saying about your other, um, situation or direction that you wanted to go. I'd love to kind of touch on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was always raised, whenever your glass is even half full, or whenever your glass is full, to fill others. And
Hmm.
I feel like because it does come around tenfold. So, that being said, I did that. And, the next week I found myself in New York City. I was having a great time. I was told by a friend not to worry about an Uber to the airport from Times Square, that she would take me. And kind of last minute, she was like, I'm really, really tired. If I drive you, I don't think it's going to be safe, because like I'm not going to be able to drive you. But it was also last minute. It was like within the hour of me needing to leave, and I was just like, uh, well, what do I do? Because I didn't plan for this. I don't get paid until like literally 2 days from now, so I don't know how I'm going to get to the airport. And she was like, I mean, we'll just figure it out. And I'm just like, I'm sitting in the hotel freaking out. I had one of my shows to do.
Yeah.
So I had to like kind of put
Yeah.
all that away and
Yeah.
like do my show, like nothing was wrong. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, an Uber to from Times Square, like where I was at in Times Square to the airport is like $80. I was like, I don't have that until 2 days from now, and I can't miss this flight. So I'm like, I'm freaking out, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I finish the show, I get off, I'm talking with a few of my friends, and I'm just like, I have no idea what to do. Like I don't know what to do, and I don't like asking people for money if I don't have to. So at that point, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So I'm like, I'm like texting my mom. I'm like, are you even awake? Because it's like the middle of the night at this point. It's like in Central Standard Time. It was like 1 a.m. And so I'm just like, are you even awake? Like, hi, it's your daughter. I need help.
Exactly.
um, and so my mom didn't answer. So I was freaking out. So I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like none of my friends are up anymore. Like the friends that were helping me were like, just hold on. Just, give me a second. And like within that hour, I'm just sitting there in the hotel, like, what did I do? Like, what did I do wrong? And so I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, there's got to be a way that I can get to the airport without having to spend $80. Like, I had 60, granted. So I was like, there's got to be like a service that's cheaper than $80. There's no way that there's not, or like there's no way that I like can't like find somebody in New York City. And within that hour, I had several people reach out to me, several people Venmo me, like just randomly from me like talking to like childhood friends and them just like randomly like Venmoing me. I don't know how, but one of my fans found out and like Venmoed me a few like dollars, and it just like it helped a lot because I was just like, by the end of the night, I had more than enough. And of course, like I gave some back to some of the people that had given me them that like I know in their heart they meant well, but they need the money more than I do. So
Right.
I gave them back. But I just was like, overwhelmed with gratitude because I was like, holy crap, like had that not happened, had I not had this many people that cared about me. I had people reaching out afterwards, like, please let me know that you got in the Uber safe. Please let me know that you got to the airport safe. And if you can't, like if for some reason something messes up with the Uber, please let me know, like, and we'll figure it out. And I just was like overwhelmed with gratitude for that because I was like, that would have been really scary. It definitely taught me to plan, even if someone says that they can take you, to plan just in case that they can't, to have that money to be able to get yourself to the airport. Because things change, circumstances change, but I was very overwhelmed with gratitude for that because I don't know what I would have done if no one would have been able to help me. I don't know how I would have got to the airport, considering like the people closest to me that I am okay with asking for money were all asleep. So I was like,
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And just like you said, just to kind of touch back on what you were saying, when you do nice things for people and you do it with a genuine heart and with no expectations, it kind of comes around full circle. And so that was, really probably why it worked out for you was for what you did for your friend and the whole bicycle situation and what it really meant for her. So, it's interesting how that kind of stuff works in life because life is very unexpected. Life is very just, you can't put your finger on it sometimes. You don't know what you're going to do. You don't know which direction you're going to turn. Where's money going to come for the bills? What can we do? But, like you said, when you do great acts of kindness and you do a lot of things for other people that, you're very much um, reciprocated or blessed in a lot of ways. So I think that,
yeah, for sure.
that's probably one of the many reasons why it worked out for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And it was one of those things too where I was like thinking, I was like, I would have had the money had I not given her that money. But then I was like, there's got to be a reason that this is happening. Like there's got to be a reason that I'm in this situation. So like whoever's out there, tell me the reason, like show me the reason, show me what's going to happen. I don't like to get into anything spiritual, but I do believe that there's something out there watching over us. And I do believe in energy, and I do believe whatever, again, that you give out, you get back. And I was just like, I gave out where, can I cash in? Like,
right.
is it,
Exactly. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
was Like, I was like, can I get that? Can I get that positive energy back, please?
Exactly. And like to your point, I don't really get into that too much, but I think that, you know, what you do unto others will be done unto you. And I think that if you get off that positive energy and that positive karma to people, I think that it comes back on you. If aren't good to people and you aren't appreciative and you aren't, thankful for what people do for you, you can't expect, that to come back and be a positive thing. But when you're doing that, when you are trying to help people, when you're trying to be grateful, when you're trying to continue to build as a person and as an individual, whether it be a business person, businessman or woman or a husband or a father or a boyfriend, girlfriend, if you try to continue to strive to be appreciative and grateful for the things that you have in your life, then that stuff comes back on you in such a wonderful, positive way that sometimes you don't even know, what to expect sometimes.
For sure. Tenfold.
Yeah.
That's
So,
insane. Or it works that way too. Like I'm still like, even like now, I'm just like, really glad that I didn't miss my flight.
yeah, I mean, you got back in one piece and everything is good and you had a great trip and all that stuff. So, like you said, that's how that stuff always works out, always has a way. And,
And I feel like too, the doorman to the hotel kind of felt the same way I felt. Not that he knew the situation at all, but once I had the Uber booked, I went downstairs and he had seen me go in and out of the hotel by myself several times, but he would, it's not like the area I was in was a bad area, but he also knew that I wasn't from there. He also knew that I wasn't familiar with the area, and so he would always tell me like, this is the hotel number, call us if you need anything, like, if you have any questions, let me know. So, just, avoid these streets, be careful. Like, he was very kind. And, most people, especially in like bigger cities like that, do not go above and beyond for people. But I don't
I don't,
know if it's my energy or what it was, but he was super sweet. He, when I went down to the Uber, he was like, do you have a ride? Like, do we need to get like a ride? And mind you, they do have service, but it's like really, really expensive because it's a really
oh,
nice
I'm sure.
hotel.
Especially being in a big city and things like that. So,
But I
yeah,
told him, I was like, I have an Uber, it's coming. And he was like, well, what's the details for your Uber? So he like looked over the details. He was like, okay, well, don't go outside yet. It's cold, it's raining. He was like, just wait here in the lobby. It's okay. Like if they try to tell you to move, like just tell them to come get me. He gave me his name and his card and number. And so he came back in 10 minutes when the Uber was like about 20 minutes out. And he was like, okay, where's the Uber at? And so we were tracking it. And so we went outside and we were waiting for it. And there was construction outside. So he was like, I'm just going to stay out here with you. You stay next to the hotel so that like no one tries to snatch you or your bags. And he was just like, not that that would happen, but just on the off chance it would.
just be prepared.
Yeah, just be prepared and stay next to the hotel. So I stayed next to the hotel. He flagged down my Uber for me and helped me get in, and was super sweet. And I've just never had anyone go like that above and beyond to like look after me, because as a female myself, I'm primarily single. I don't really date that much anymore, just for reasons because I'm working on myself, my career. So I'm doing things alone most of the time. And I'm
Mhm.
aware that as a female is kind of dangerous. I know that in this world that, I've already been mugged. So I'm aware of my surroundings. I'm aware of what happens when people are around you and, the energy that people give out. But I also like, I guess I don't think sometimes about it. Sometimes I just kind of let it go over my head, which is not safe. But sometimes I just let it go over my head and I'm just like, I'm just catching an Uber, like it's fine, and I'm not really thinking like, well, you're catching an Uber in the middle of Times Square at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not the best time to be out and about.
No,
So
no.
it was just really nice that like he took the time to wait with me and make sure that I was safe, and was just so genuine and kind to me. And he was literally a stranger. Like I had no idea who he was, and he had no idea who I was, and I just thought that was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, especially being a total stranger, I mean, he didn't have to do that. He,
Yeah.
could have had other things that he was doing, other things that he was working on, doing his job, not necessarily, distracting from what he was supposed to be doing. And I think that it certainly said a lot about him as a person, and it certainly meant a lot to you for, like you said, being in a strange city, already being under a lot of stress with the situation of trying to get back and flying and all that stuff. So I think that stuff is rare, especially today. I mean, like I said, so many people are worried about themselves. They're worried about their own instant gratification. They're only worried about, being in their own mind and not necessarily helping someone out. I heard someone say one time, especially like in your bigger cities, like if someone's getting attacked or something like that, like you're actually supposed to yell fire, because if they yell out that someone is, getting attacked or call police, people just scramble. And that's because people are wired now to just, only worry about themselves and not like, oh, that, that's going on. I don't want to be a part of that. And it makes them very paranoid, and it makes us more about helping other people and more worried about, well, I don't want to be in that. And, it's changed over the years, I think.
And they say that too, in bigger cities. I know when I first moved to LA, they told me that too. They were like, if you're ever in downtown LA, not that this would happen. I've been in downtown LA. I've never seen anything like this happen. But if you're in downtown LA, if you're in a bad area, you see someone getting mugged or you're getting mugged, yell fire. Because a lot of times too, it's so corrupt out there. The police won't come. They don't care. So if you yell fire, they'll come, like someone will come. But a lot of times people scramble. Everyone goes like their own way because they don't want to get attacked. The police don't care, so they won't come. So you yell fire, and, obviously they're obligated to come check it out, because a fire, for some reason, is more important than a human life now. But
do you think that particular situation, I mean, I'm sure you've had other things and we could go all night about it. Do you think in that particular situation, that random act of kindness and what you did for your friend, how do you feel like that's changed you to overall try to do more for people or for yourself? Like, how do you feel like that's kind of shaped you to try to do what you can?
I think, and especially in that moment when that man was helping me, because this month, I'm not gonna lie, has been one of the worst months of my life, like ever. And I think in that moment, it was kind of like an eye opener, like, okay, Blair, like, you've had a really bad month, but it's not all about you. You can get through this month. Everyone else is probably also having a bad month because COVID sucks. So it's like affecting everyone. So it kind of made me think and reflect and be like, all right, kind of, yeah, you have your stuff that you're stressing out about, but it could be worse. So don't forget when you're out and about to be kind to other people, because other people could be going through the same thing or something worse. Especially in COVID, a lot of people, we're in this like lockdown type of thing. We're in this pandemic, and it's weird and not normal and just very strange. And people, we're getting closer to the fall, and I guess we're already in fall. And a lot of times, during the holidays and during the fall seasons, people are more depressed as the the weather's changing. So
Sure.
that plus COVID and plus the pandemic has a lot of people out of sorts. I know it has me out of sorts, and it's just very strange. It's a very strange time for all of us, I think. And I think it's really important to take that time to remember, like, to be kind to someone, even if it's like random, even if it's just like, if you see someone and they just like, have something cute on, just shout it, like, you look cute, like, keep doing your thing. Like, that's something that I really like to do. If I see a girl with like really cute hair or something like that, I will literally just like shout, be like, hey girl, I like your hair, like, it's cute. Like, it's that like small thing, because I know when I get that, when I'm looking good, when I'm feeling good, or even when I'm not, and I get another girl or another guy that's just like, hey, like, I really like your look, like, it's really cute, and they do it in a respectful way, like, it just makes the day 10 times better, because it reminds you that, like, I don't know, we're all human, we're all in this together, and there is kindness that still exists, and it's not just like the world is kind of going, terribly, but like, there is so much kindness left in the world that I think we forget about. And I think it's nice to do that to people and for people, and just to remember that, we're all in this together, we're all human at the end of the day, and be kind to one another. It's so important.
I think it's the little things, and I think you really hit the nail on the head with that. Is, with everything going on, everybody's kind of just all over the place, and people are struggling financially. People are struggling maybe with their own personal relationships with people that they're seeing, dating, married to, and things like that. I think that you add into the other layer of the politics and everything on the news, and it's never anything positive and stuff like that. Just something small. I mean, I know for myself personally, even if you're going to a grocery store like today, I had to go pick up a few things for the house, just to hold the door for somebody, and for someone to say, hey, I appreciate that. Maybe that wasn't a big thing. Maybe you're just holding the door, but someone might really appreciate that. Maybe that made their day. Maybe they were having a rough day, and that was just something to be like, wow, that's really nice for someone to do just a random act of kindness like that. And I think that a lot of people, overlook that stuff. I think like I said, I think that when we get away from doing other things for other people, then it sometimes can be more of a burden to us,
Yeah.
because it's like we're just all in our own box. We all go to work, we all come home, we all stream or whatever. But we got to get back to trying to be friendly and considerate and kind to other people, even if it's just something simple like holding a door, or say you see a mother that doesn't have a whole lot of money, and buy her diapers for her child, or
Yeah.
say you're going through a restaurant and get something to eat, to the drive-through, and you see someone behind you, and you just say, hey, look, what did they get? It don't have to be $100 meal, but maybe they picked up a $8-10 combo, and you just say, hey, look, I'm going to go ahead and get that for them.
Absolutely.
And then when they get up the window, they're like, oh wow, that was really nice for somebody to do that. So it's just those little things in life that I feel like that we all want to be appreciative and grateful for.
Yeah. The drive-through thing is a huge thing for me because I feel like sometimes, just in the craziness of it all, things happen. And I have a McDonald's. Everyone like laughs when they see me because I'm always streaming from the McDonald's when I'm at home.
But how good! Everybody always jokes about their Wi-Fi. So
Oh my God, my Wi-Fi is so bad. So I literally will stream from the McDonald's because my Wi-Fi usually, if it goes out, like then I can go to McDonald's. It's like 5 minutes down the road, and I can go get like a fry and a drink and just like stream and eat and chill.
absolutely,
But I always go to one specific McDonald's, and they're always so kind to me there. Even if like they have new hires, like I don't know what they do or what they say to their new hires, but they have nothing but good customer service, and it's rare because that's McDonald's.
yeah,
But but I had one of my regular girls who always rings me up. We always kind of chit chat a little bit, and then I go on my way, I get my food. And the other day, I guess it wasn't the other day because I've been on vacation for a month, but when like last month when I was going through the drive-through, I forgot my cash at home, so I was just going to use my card. Well, my card wasn't working for some reason. It just wasn't like, I don't know why. Like, when you have money in it and your bank is just like, actually, no, we're going to freeze your account. Don't know why, but it just wasn't working. And I was like, well, this is crappy because I have my cash at the house, but I didn't think I'd need it because I had money on the card. So I was like freaking out. And she goes, don't even worry about it. I got you. Comps it out. You can literally lose your job for that. So I was like, oh my God, thank you. But like, don't ever do that again because I know that you can lose your job for that. I used to work in fast food. And if it's not approved by a manager, you can
huge
literally
no-no.
get fired.
Right.
And so I went back around the drive-through like the next couple days and I saw her working. I was like, I have something for you as a huge thank you because I don't want you to ever do that again. Thank you. But for doing that, I went and I actually, because I know that she likes Starbucks, so I went and I got her Starbucks gift card and I was like, I gave it to her. I was like, this is for the other day. I know you probably didn't want McDonald's food, so I didn't want to get you a McDonald's gift card. So this is Starbucks gift card. I know that you're always, you have a Starbucks like shirt and everything. So she always wears a Starbucks shirt, which is funny because she works at McDonald's. But I was like, this is because I know you like Starbucks. Thank you so much, but don't ever do that again because I know that you could get fired. I don't want to see you lose your job. And she was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like she just appreciated it so much. But it was like those little things that like happen, like especially if something happens to me and it's like out of nowhere, I'm like, all right, well, if this random act of kindness happened to me out of nowhere, I've got to give back at some point in time because, it has to go full circle. It has to keep going full circle.
It really does. I mean, it's something that we, like you said, we always have to constantly do. We can't get stagnant. We can't get to the point where it doesn't matter anymore, because I think when it doesn't matter to us, it doesn't matter to other people, and no one's better off from that. We all have to continue to grow and prosper and be what we can for each other and things like that. And I think that that's the most important thing that we can learn from, in life in general, this particular conversation, is that we have to continue to just do what we can for everybody, do what we can for ourselves. And I think in that way, it'll bring us a lot closer together instead of, divide us apart. Because I know a lot of us can have different, religious backgrounds, political backgrounds, different ethnicities and things like that. And I think that we have to learn what we have more that's similar and what we're grateful for, as opposed to what we're so much different about.
Exactly. That's my biggest thing too, is I always will tell people, like, I don't care what you believe in. I don't care who you support politically. At the end of the day, we're human. If you need something, and like, especially if you're even if you're an acquaintance of mine and I just
Mhm.
know that you are a genuinely like good-hearted person, like I don't care what you believe in, I don't care like who you support, like if you need something, if there's ever like a day that you were just like not just not together, you just like, stuff happens, I try to shed light like on those people to show, just to show that like positive like energy does still exist, kindness does still exist, no matter what your background is, no matter who you support, no matter what like side you're on. At the end of the day, we're human and we should all support each other.
Exactly. I couldn't agree with you more, and I think that that was really well said. I think that you summed it up as perfect and as good as anybody could. So,
You.
um, anything that you want to add to the conversation? I know we got a few minutes left. If you wanted to, do a little quick plug for yourself for the show, or do you have anything you want to continue to add? I mean, I'd love for you to, in
Yeah.
closing.
Yeah, absolutely. So for everyone in, hi again. I'm Blair Woods. Thank you so much, by the way, Jamison, for having me tonight. I really do like talking about random act of kindness because I think it's so important to be that example to set for
Mhm.
everybody, to make sure that everyone is reminded to, at some point, do something positive and don't expect anything back. Just do something positive just simply because you want to do it for someone.
Cool.
I have a show on this app called Uncover Paranormal with Blair, and we uncover all the spooky things, all the fun spooky things. Jameson was actually just on it the other night, and it was so much fun. So that happens Wednesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you guys enjoy spooky things and just love spooky season, you guys come out and come hear all the crazy stories and all the tales that we tell. And aside from that, too, I'm also a singer songwriter. So that kind of goes hand in hand with my random acts of kindness. As a singer songwriter, a lot of people ask me like why I want to do what I do, and I love making music. It's just like my favorite thing to do because I love to sing. But the reason I want to be as famous as I hope and aspire to be one day is to have that platform. I want to be able to do a lot of things with the platform for other people. I want to be able to donate
Yes.
to certain things, start my own nonprofits. I think a big thing that I really, really want to do to show other people like kindness really does exist, I think would be the coolest thing ever to start a huge nonprofit specifically for the homeless in our country, to give them the second chance that they deserve to have. Because I've seen too many of my own go through it. I know a lot of, even my producer at some point was homeless, and it's a point where you get and you don't necessarily know what's going to happen, and all of a sudden everything can just be taken from you, and you're left stranded and you can't get out of it financially, and it's just really hard. A lot of people put a negative light on people who are homeless, saying that they're lazy. That's not the case. Majority of them are not. They just are in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they don't have that second chance, and I want to be that second chance for them so that they know that like kindness exists, that people are looking out for you, and there are other people that care about you, especially for the homeless who don't have family members anymore, and that's why stuff happens, you don't have family to like rely on. I want them to realize that people are washing out, people do love you, people do care about you. I would never want anyone to feel alone. I've been there, I felt alone, and it's really scary. So especially when everything's kind of taken away from you and everything seems like it's hopeless and you feel alone, I want to be that person that is able to give that person a second chance and be like, you're loved, you're not alone, let's get you back on your feet, get you where you need to go, and let you try this again.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point, and like I said, just to kind of to touch back on that, I mean you never know what situations people are in. You don't know the struggles that they had. You don't, it doesn't necessarily always have to be alcohol or drug related or things like that. I mean, you could have got laid off, especially right now with COVID and things like that. You don't know what's happened in people's lives, so you can't pass judgment based off stuff that you don't know. And I
Exactly.
think that if we have a little bit more of an open mind and open heart to understand what people have been through, I think that it gives us a clearer understanding about not only what they've been through, but it should also help us have a clearer understanding about what we should be appreciative of in our own life. Because there's not a whole lot of difference between us being where they're at and where we are right now.
Exactly. It is literally
So
circumstance that separates us. And I think that's so important for us to remember. Stuff can go wrong so fast.
just like that.
And you can literally you think that you know would be able to have a backup plan. Sometimes it just doesn't line up. Sometimes if you are in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that is just circumstance, it'll happen in a blink of an eye, and then all of a sudden you'll find yourself exactly where you never thought you would be.
Yeah.
And it's so important to keep that in mind and to humble yourself to realize like we are literally all the same. We are all human. We all bleed the same blood. And at the end of the day, we need to look out for each other because that's all we have. We have each other. You know, we don't have, you know, money and stuff like that. Money is always going to be filtered out. Money will always come and go. I actually personally used to be someone who I obviously do like buying myself things when I can, but I used to be one of those the people who solely relied on money for happiness, and it was one of those things where like I went and I bought a Gucci wallet just because I could, and I was like, this will make me happy, and it didn't. It was happy in the moment, and it was one of those things where you're like, well, now what do I do? Like, you can keep buying and keep buying and keep buying, and you can have all the money in the world and keep buying and keep buying and keep doing things, but you are never going to fill that void until you come to terms with whatever you're dealing with. And no matter what situation you're going through in life, money won't solve it. It might aid it for sure, which is why I would like to start the nonprofit to help aid those who don't have it and who don't have much at all, or anything, so that they have that second chance. But I also want the message to be within that is, you know, money doesn't solve everything, that does help, but at the end of the day, like we have each other and we need to look out for each other. And I think especially people who have been in that situation, who have been homeless, who have gotten a second chance, they know
They
they're, you know,
appreciate the second chance way more.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
and they appreciate everything way more, especially when you, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're homeless, but when you get rock bottom, when you hit that rock bottom, I feel like you appreciate everything a lot more because you're like, whoa, this sucks.
Yeah.
And you know, the people that do come and that are looking out for you, and even if it's just yourself looking out for yourself, and you know, once you get out of that place, I feel like you appreciate things a lot more, and you want to make sure that others appreciate that a lot more too, because I feel like that's forgotten and it's taken for granted in the world that we have.
I completely agree because I mean, I think that when people get in situations where they hit rock bottom, they don't have anywhere to go. You know, that's it. Like you're at the bottom of the totem pole. And so you have to kind of, you know, shut down the engines and recharge your batteries and get yourself back to neutral and realize that, hey, only place I can go is up. And that's all you can do. And like you said, to some of the points and some of the notes that you've kind of touched on is you can do that through taking care of yourself, taking care of other people, trying to be the best person or the best version that you can of yourself. And then that way people see that and you can do for other people, and that can continue to make you rise. And then at that point, you know, the sky's the limit. So, yeah, that's
Like
how
at that point too, like when you're rising and you're rising because other people are rising, then you all rise together.
Mhm. We're
And I
all
feel
in
like
this together. There's no, you know, there's no Blair, there's no just Jamison. I mean, it's all, you know, it all works together. It's all like a machine. I mean, if this part doesn't work, that part doesn't work. And it always works so much better together than it does, you know, individually or apart. So,
exactly.
yeah. Well, love, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being and taking time out of your schedule to be on my show. It's really amazing just to, you know, have you here and just share some things that were important in your life. And I've learned a lot, not just about you, but, you know, things that are important to you. And it helps me also reflect on myself and examine things that should be important in my life as well. So,
Well, thank you so much for having me, Jamison. I appreciate you.
yeah, it's always a pleasure, love. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.
Well, guys, thank you so much. That's our show for tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. It's been such a wonderful time to listen to Blair and hear about some things in her life. Please favorite her. She's such a wonderful, fantastic person. I mean, she's doing big things for, you know, herself and friends and trying to build her music career up and things like that. So, as I said, we started the show off with a quote. We're going to end the show with a quote. Just wanted to share this with you guys one more time in case you didn't read it or hear it or came in late. The quote for the night is, small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world. So let me say that one more time and really let it sink in with people. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world. That's amazing stuff right there. I don't know if that really hits any different with you than it does for me, but it really is important. It honestly is important at the end of the day to realize that the small things we do for people can be so much more of a bigger thing and a bigger platform than what we really realize. So, guys, thank you so much. We're going to be doing this every week, trying to get new people on every week. We're going to have a lot of different personalities, a lot of different stories, a lot of different topics for so many people involved. And so it's really going to be such a wonderful opportunity and wonderful show that I hope so many people continue to come back, support, want to be a part of themselves. My friend, the Pineapple Queen, she's not here tonight. You can please hit her up on Meet Me. You can search her name and find her. Please message her. You can message me on Instagram. You can message me on here in the DMs, and then we'll definitely try to work you into the show and listen to your story and things that you've been a part of for your life. And so, again, in closing, guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. It's an amazing show, amazing people on here, and I love you guys. Take care.